Today on the Cristopolis show, I have the honor of interviewing Tiye Phoenix. She has an incredible discography, and she's recently had a 16-bar verse challenge for her Shine Harder. It's gone viral. She's had a who's who participate, artists such as Priest the Nomad, Nejma Nefertiti, Show Rocker, and more. In addition to this, she has two solo albums, Half Woman, Half Amazing, and the Master's Program. She has multiple EPs, multiple singles, and she used to be a part of the Polyrhythmic Addicts. We're gonna go ahead and bring her in, interview her, and talk to her about her journey, what she's currently working on, and future plans. Hello.
Hi.
You look amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel a little tired.
Oh, well, I'm honored to have you on the show. I'm honored. It's truly an honor. And I love what you've been doing recently with your new single, but your discography is amazing, you know? So what I always like to do is start off the show by letting creatives talk about their creative journey, how they got started. You have a beautiful story, and then we can work our way up to what you got popping off now. So can you tell us a little bit about, you know, how you fell in love with music, how you fell in love with hip hop, how you got started?
Wow, how I fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah.
That's I guess everyone has their version of how they first got involved with hip hop. I just, the idea of rapping and telling your story, that just, it grabbed my heart, very early. Like a lot of people I'm sure can relate, like, grade school.
Yeah.
Grade school, we all just, said, wow, I think not only does this allow me to express myself in a creative way, because, I myself, and I'm sure a lot of other people can relate to this, you start out as doing poetry.
Yeah.
Start out doing poetry, just creative writing, and the next thing you know, you're like, I want to rap,
Yeah, I could do this.
I can do this. And, depending on the degree to which you absolutely love hip hop, you start becoming more serious and like, okay, I need to practice this. I need to get better. I'm good, but I need to get better. And then I can even get better than that. It can just, so really just, it started out just really falling in love with the art form and just seeing how creative it allows you to be.
Yeah.
And that was, quite some time ago. That was a long time ago.
Now, you're classically trained in piano, right?
Yes.
Yeah. At what age did you start, learning how to play piano and then taking lessons?
7, like about 7.
Wow.
And I stopped taking lessons around 13 because I was like, I know the notes. There's only, like 8 notes in a scale. At some point, you can figure out different ways to combine the notes, different ways to, play chords and things like that. And I really didn't continue the professional lessons, but just, just playing music. And I can read, like I can read sight music. I wouldn't say I'm not like a Herbie Hancock or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not like, but I can read. Like I know the difference, between naturals and flats and sharps and things like that. So I do have some sort of formal musical training. Yes.
Got it. And then early in your music career, before you got on the mic and started rhyming, you were like playing piano with different groups. That's how you kind of started. Is that accurate?
I had a collective of women, and we were in a group called Soul Food Symphony. And those women they're still around. A lot of them, I still speak to them. And yeah, it was a hip hop collective, all female hip hop collective. And we performed, in different spots, performed with different artists, well-known, respected artists. But it was at a very, very early stage of, my musical career. But it was so crucial to just my development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that in the New York area, or was that more in the
It
DC,
was
Baltimore area?
it was in the DC area. Most of the members of the group they are graduates of Howard
Okay.
University, and I went to school right down the street at College Park, University of Maryland College Park. So we were like in that area, but now everyone is. There were several natives of New York, Jersey, Florida in that group. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just so cool. And then you wind up connecting with Ruckus Records?
Yes, I did end up signing to Ruckus Records much later, but a little bit a little bit after that. And yeah, that was really interesting because, of course, as you know, there were a lot of really respected, legendary MCs on that roster, so it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, and as part of Ruckus, were you more involved in the production, the music, or were you already rhyming? And how did that relationship work?
I, I was rhyming then.
Okay.
I was rhyming, and I did a little production because that's where, like you mentioned Polyrhythmatics. That's kind of where I connected to the members of Polyrhythmatics. They were all signed to Ruckus, so we were kind of we were all on the same roster, and dipping and dabbing in some production, but definitely MCing. I was like full-fledged in the MC game at that point.
Yeah, and right now, I feel in a lot of ways there's so many female MCs that are just coming out, dope MCs. But you're that era, there weren't that many, right?
There were,
That was like
there were a lot of dope MCs at that time. Sorry, my cat. He messed up the cord. He's trying to get my attention, whatever. But there were a lot of dope MCs at that time. The underground circuit was really active. I mean, of course, you've always had your mainstream artists who got major, radio airplay. Hey, Lex, major radio airplay. Lex is an MC. And there were always MCs, just in different subgenres, just underground, mainstream. But I think at that time, like, that was a different time because where it was a big accomplishment at that time to be like so-called put on major label, like major radio or popular radio. Yeah. It's I don't want to say it's not as important now, right. But we have apps like this, Spotify, we have streaming, so you can go direct to your audience in a very rapid way. So it's a little different. But then I think it was more like I was in the underground circuit. There were quite a few women there, just I guess what you're saying is that women are being like pushed now. Like women are being pushed.
That's true. They're
that's true.
Being pushed. And it's interesting. It's interesting to see that in hip hop. So continuing on with your discography, so you're at Ruckus, then you go into Polyrhythmic Addicts. Can you tell us about that album you did with them and that experience?
Polyrhythmatics. It's hard to say, I know. Polyrhythmatics. Of hip hop. That's what people call it, right? The golden era of hip hop. And it was a great time. It was so much fun. I mean, I was so invested in the creative and the artistic side of music. Not saying that I didn't care about the business, but it was just all about the stage, the mic, the bars, the open mics, attending open mics. And it was just all about art for me. And of course you learn lessons that it can't just be 100% art. There has to be some sort of knowledge about the business. There has to be some sort of, understanding about the business, but you live and you learn over time. But that was a really great time. I thought the music was great and, didn't, of course, get the support that it could have gotten, from the label at that time. So.
Yeah. No, it's a classic project. And you have another classic project that came after that, which is your first solo album, Half Woman, Half Amazing. What a work of art that is. Can you talk to us about, it's such a dope album. In preparation for the interview, I went back and I listened to your discography, but that album is, better than most of what's going to come out this year by, people now. I mean, it's such a classic album of incredible production, amazing lyrics. Talk to us about that album, what it was like doing your first solo album, the production, where it was recorded, things like that.
First I want to say, Rolex said Master Plan is my jam from Half Woman, Half Amazing. That song was produced by the legendary DJ Jazzy Jeff, Master Plan. There are some great songs on that album, and you are not the only, if I can, humbly say, you are not the only person that has said to me that they've listened to Half Woman, Half Amazing in recent times, and they're like, this is timeless. Like, this is quality music, quality recorded music that can really hold up, against a lot of contemporary music. And I feel that way. Of course, as an artist, you always measure your growth. So you're like, I'm better as a writer. I'm better as an MC. I'm better with punchlines. I'm better as an artist, as a recording artist, a songwriter than I was then. Because I'm always measuring my own growth, But in terms of just the quality of the product, I do believe that Half Woman, Half Amazing it's undeniable. And it's a straight through,
yeah, that's what it has. It's like you put on the first track and it's so cool the way it comes in, right? And then it's like, I'm titanium, and then it just goes, right? But then the second track's a banger, and the third track's a banger, and the fourth track's a banger, right? And the whole album just goes.
Thank you. Yeah, the first track, Titanium, which you said, is produced by the Beat Miners, the legendary Beat Miners. And there's just, again, anybody, I would say, Lolex says she never skips. Thank you. I'm so proud of that album. And, not to jump too far ahead, because I know you probably have some questions about the more contemporary stuff. But what's so cool about Half Woman, Half Amazing to me is that I feel like even though I've been growing as an artist, because life happens while you're an artist. Life happens. And while you're living life, you're going through stuff, you're learning, you're inspired, then you're discouraged, then you're inspired again. It's life, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like I've always been a very commendable songwriter. Yeah. And I feel like that's a skill that I don't think I fully I don't want to jump into the modern, shine harder, but I feel like you said, when you listen to Half Woman, Half Amazing as a complete project, and you listen from song to song to song, every song is strong in its own right. And that's because, of course, the producers gave me amazing production. The title cut I produced, Half Woman, Half Amazing, I produced that cut. So, but I think they're strong songs, and I've really wanted to kind of drive the point home for a long time that I've been making very strong songs as an artist. And, the bars are important to me, the rap is important, but the songs as a product. Yeah. And yeah, I feel like, I'll wait till you get to it. I won't jump. But I feel like that's sort of coming into fruition now, where it's like, oh, this song is,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love you too, Jessica.
That's beautiful. And it's important because there's a difference between a Hot 16, a dope beat, and a song, right? The arrangement, the concept of the song, the bars, the mix, all of those details, right? So that, yeah,
Exactly.
a finished product, an actual song, and music that stands the test of time is really amazing. Then after that, the next solo album we had was the Masters Program. Can you talk to us about that project?
Yes, the Masters. Thank you, Red. The Masters Program was pre-pandemic.
Okay.
Another album, I think, in my opinion, that's no skippers, no fillers. They're all good. They're pretty solid songs. And I was at the time in a master's program.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask you, right? And then you got like the way that the album starts, you got like the, you know, when you walk, the college music, right? It was great.
Right. When you begin the album, the intro, you hear the graduation theme song. Yeah. Because in 2020, I actually did graduate from a master's program. So the album had the title was a double entendre. The master's program suggesting that I've been in rap, I've been doing this music thing for a while. I feel like I've attained a certain level of mastery. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, I'm about to graduate from one of the top 10 graduate schools in the country, NYU Steinhardt School of Applied Psychology. So it was a double entendre. Mm-hmm.
In psychology? So the master's degree was in psychology?
Guidance and counseling for K through 12, for kindergarten through 12th grade.
Wow, that's fascinating. Wow, so got it. And yeah, again, another banger. And then you're getting busy because later in 2020, you dropped The Glow.
I dropped The Glow, which is an EP.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the pandemic, you know, I get it. Life changed. And people were like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Some people were scared. Like, they didn't know if they walked outside, if they were going to, you know, make it back home because they were going to, you know, come in contact with this virus and then fall on the ground and die.
Right.
So I had this EP out that, again, which had some very, very powerful, strong songs on it. And thank you. And you know, The Glow, it was, you know, it just became this thing for me where I was like making songs that people can feel on a certain level and relate to and really have a personal connection to just the lyrics, the feel, everything. And that's what The Glow was for me. And I know I can honestly say a lot of people probably didn't get a chance to hear those songs, but they're out there. If anybody wants to, you know, go through the catalog and check out The Glow, the Masters Program, those songs they're good. They're quality songs, if I must say.
For the production, you know, so you produce also, you know, you're classically trained piano. That means you can work the keys, right? But I heard in your lyrics that you also get behind the MPC.
Yeah, like I said, when we talked about Half Woman, Half Amazing, the title cut for the album, Half Woman, Half Amazing, you produced that. I produced that. Now I use an MPC. I've only used MPCs, 2000s, 3000s, studio. I've just kind of been, you know, predominantly, you know, using Akai equipment. It's just worked out that way.
Yeah, which is interesting because since you play piano, I would have guessed like a Triton or something like that. At the time I was using a Trinity, which is the Korg, the Triton, the Korg that's in the Korg. That's the name of the brand. Yeah. So I was using Korg products and Akai. Yep. Yeah, you're pretty psychic. How did you know that? Because I've been around producers, you know, and you could sample on a Trinity or Triton on just like you could at MPC, but if you could play piano, then it just makes sense to go on the scales of the Triton. Whereas, you know, for a lot of the cats that don't do piano, they've got the drum machine. But the fact that you're a classically trained pianist and then you're also, you know, banging it out on the drum machine is incredible.
The pads. Yeah. I like the pads. And, you know, there's ways to manipulate the pads so that you're, you know, tones, adjusting tones and keys, just like keyboard.
Yeah.
It's really like, it's the same. You can manipulate it the same.
That's so cool. So for your new work, you know, we're getting into this cool thing that you've done with Shine Harder. So when somebody's as talented as you are, you've got the bars, you've got the connections, you've got people who love you, and you can work with elite rappers. You can get really dope production because you've got the connections, but you're a producer also. How much of it do you produce? How much of it do you lean on other producers to get dope beats? How do you go about making that decision for like, okay, I'm gonna produce this, or I'm gonna get this production?
I'm not really opposed to getting production from other people, because remember, like, production is in the expression of the individual. So, and there's some producers, I'm, you know, okay with admitting there's some producers that are far more savvy, right, you know, with whatever their techniques are. So the last couple singles I released I didn't produce those. Yeah. You know, I've got production from other people. So yeah, I don't mind working with other people. I like the idea of taking someone's composition and saying, okay, I want to turn this into whatever sort of concept that comes into my mind, whatever idea I'm feeling at the time. And it's cool because producers they all have their own individual techniques, yeah, and their own styles. Right. So, you know, I think sometimes even if you do produce your own music, if you're an artist, you should still maybe connect to other people. Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be different. Yeah, it's going to be a different vibe with another producer. Yeah. So talk to us about your new single, Shine Harder.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to talk about it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Shine Harder. Okay, it's featuring Rem Neville. You know, Rem, who's, you know, from in the Ruck family, the Duck Down Ruck / Ruck Down family. He is on that song, and it's produced by a producer by the name of 8 Bars. And I'll tell the story. So the beat was available for free download. So when I heard it, you know, because what I do sometimes, I just collect beats. Yeah, I just collect beats. Like, not necessarily to write a song that day or to complete an EP or an album that month. I'll just hear a beat and like, I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take that. So I just have beats. You know what I'm saying? I just have beats on my laptop that some of them, you know, I might write to that day. Some might just sit for a month and I'll, you know. Yeah. So I had it for a while and it was available for free download because a lot of producers do that now. Yeah. But as you know, I released it. It became a commercial release, became a song. I asked Rem to be on it, and the producer got in touch with me, and he was like, free beats are not available for commercial release. Right. And I was like, okay. So I ended up having to purchase it. Yeah. Not a problem. Because I really like the beat. And this producer, I think he's worked with it. It's on his page. He worked with Joe Buttons and Rick Ross. I think he's done a few songs with Rick Ross and Wale. Wow. And to me, that's how the beat feels. Yeah. It has that kind of feel to it. Yeah. And so I was like, Right. Yeah, it really does. It has like a Rick Ross kind of Maybach music. It has a Maybach music feel to it. I mean, it is what it is. You said it, okay? And so I was just like, you can't. Maybach music, from what I understand, sonically is very big. Yeah. The production is, you know, is massive in terms of just There's a lot of symphonic elements, etc. So you can't really do, in my opinion, you can't really do like low level, kind of like, I'm just here. I just did my bars. I'm done. You know, I didn't really care about the concept of a hook. It was about my bars. You know, no. I was like, nah, this needs a major concept.
Yeah.
Like, so I was riding home from work, and I was listening, and you know, because the car,
yeah. That's what
the shower and the car, right? The shower and the car are ideal environments for you to just let ideas flow, right? And I have like all 3 water signs in my chart. So the shower, and I'm a Virgo rising, which, you know, Mercury's ruled. Mercury's like local travel. I was traveling, look, that was a car. I was like, oh, every day. This is how it started. I said, every day on the mic, I'ma shine harder. And I said, nah, if I say every day on the mic, I'm only talking to rappers. Yeah. So I changed it to every day of my life, I'ma shine harder. Now I'm talking to everybody. Right. So it just kind of went from there. And I was like, wow. And, you know, everybody, well, I can't say this comfortably, but most rappers, when they leave the studio, they're like, I know this is fire. Right. I know this song is it. I know this song is dope. Right. Everybody feels that way, usually, about their material. But I was like, this song is a little different.
I got some.
Now, now, in my defense, I would say that I feel like all of the singles, because I've been putting out singles consistently since last year. Not really full-length projects, but singles. And I feel like all of the singles I've done, the Stand On It with Rusty, the Who We Are with Havoc and Safa, all of the songs are strong. They're not like weak songs.
And it's so you got your people on them, right? So they're dope beats, dope songs, you're coming off, and then you got Havoc. And then you've got Rusty Junks, right? So it's like, you know,
Hey, Malika. So she said, Stand On It is my joint.
Yeah.
Thank you. So they're strong, powerful songs with their own powerful, moving messages, right? In some way. The difference with Shine Harder is I decided to do a challenge.
Right.
That's the difference, because the beat, if you know how to rap, it's one of those beats where you're like, my voice supposed to be on that beat.
Yeah.
It's one of those, you're like, I'm supposed to be rapping on that beat. It's one of those beats where even if sometimes people aren't necessarily so skilled or have top tier rap abilities, the beat's still gonna make you sound good.
Yeah.
A little, because the beat is just so dramatic, and the pace and the swing of the drum programming, all of that, you know, I take all of that into consideration when I select beats. So it was just a spur of the moment idea. Do a challenge.
It was a good idea.
It just was an idea, like do it. Follow my intuition. At this phase of my life, at my very seasoned age, I don't run away from my intuition. You know, if my intuition told me get on Instagram and do jumping jacks, you know, and then a backflip and do a calisthenics challenge to shine, I would do it if my intuition told me to do it. So
you're listening.
So I just decided to like make it a challenge, and it's still going.
It took off.
It's still going. We haven't even really like planted it over TikTok yet. So kind of.
It hasn't gone on TikTok yet.
One girl, there was a young lady that I actually shared yesterday. She doesn't rap.
Yeah.
But she wanted to rap. That's how inspired she was. So she just ended up dancing. I don't know if you saw it. She just ended up dancing to it.
Yeah. So you're super active on TikTok. And that's why I wondered, I was like, oh, she's really active on TikTok too. And I was like, oh, maybe she got the idea from TikTok. Because is this the first challenge you've done?
Yes.
Because
this is the first time I've ever done a challenge. And we're, and so far, like the open verse challenge, that's going and that's active, but it's going to go a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Because everybody doesn't rap.
That's right.
But everybody wants to shine. So it's opening up at this point. And yeah, you're right. I am very active on TikTok. Ironically, the majority of my content on TikTok is not music.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You drop.
So, what'd you say?
You're dropping knowledge.
I'm dropping knowledge. I'm dropping knowledge and awareness. And the thing about Shine Harder is, like I said, I'm the girl yesterday. She did it on TikTok. She put it over there herself. So I was like, okay, I gotta really get this active on TikTok. Because the thing about Shine Harder is we have to really come to this space where we're okay with the fact that although we all love hip hop, we don't all want to sing the same type of hip hop songs. We don't all want to recite the same type of lyrics. We don't all want to subscribe and support certain types of hip hop. Yeah. So the people that want to raise their vibration and have done their shadow work, or have seen the glowing results of their healing or their therapeutic work or their meditation work, we need hip hop for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want to necessarily all the time want to recite lyrics where people are dying, like 10 people die by the end of the song. We don't want to do that.
Right.
We need our own
crack. There's enough people selling crack. It's been done.
Right. And if you're okay with internalizing by repetitiously listening to and memorizing and reciting those types of lyrics, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the rest of us, we out here shining.
Yeah.
We did the work. We are elevating. We need a soundtrack too. So that's why I believe that Spirit was like, put it out there and you're going to find out. You're going to find out. Not some fake, contrived industry. We paid 50,000 bots to put comments under or we paid for this celebrity to show up and take a picture and say the song. No, you're going to see that people genuinely feel it. And that's why I feel like Lex, who's in the chat, and I saw Al in the chat, Malika, they all participated in the challenge. Everybody doesn't want to pretend to like stale run-in-the-mill hip-hop where it's like it doesn't speak to the energy of who you are.
Yeah.
Right, y'all? Right? I'm right, y'all? Right? It's like, not to knock anybody,
sure,
but it's like, we need a soundtrack too. Yeah. So this is for my tribe. And I feel like Spirit told me, you're going to find out how big your tribe is. You're going to find out how many people feel exactly the way you do. You want to stop me from winning? I'm going to shine harder. You're going to watch me ascending. I'm going to shine harder.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to find out how many people live with that mindset. They just needed to have a soundtrack. They needed a movie score to their movie.
Yeah.
So it was a wake up call for me too, because I'm like, oh, I'm providing the soundtrack to my tribe now, because we don't gotta like that over there and like that over there. We're not knocking you. Keep doing what you're doing. We're not here to tell you, but we don't gotta subscribe to that.
Yeah.
So this is about the tribe, your vibe, your tribe, right?
Yeah.
Your vibe is gonna bring to you your tribe. So that's why we're gonna get the fashion people who say stunting is a habit. I'm fly. I'm shining harder, and they might not be rapping in the challenge, but they might be showing off their clothes. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's gonna get a chance to be like, I'm shining harder. It's an affirmation too. It's an affirmation.
Yeah, it's an affirmation. That's
so
beautiful.
When you say it, so when you speak it out to the world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sky's the limit at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. So, you know, you've had a lot of people that you just mentioned, also heavy hitters like Priest the Nomad, Nejma Nefertiti, Show Rocker. You've got a lot of momentum behind this right now. A couple of questions. One is, are you, you know, once I think that it runs its course, right? So like, you know, a few weeks, a couple months, whatever that time frame is, are you thinking about doing anything with the best verses, right? Because you've got so many heavyweights.
Listen, I know everybody's like, damn,
yeah,
all these people get verses. You should do. Just stay tuned.
Okay.
This has all been planned. This is this fight is fixed. This fight is fixed. Listen, you haven't even seen a video yet.
So there's a video coming?
There's so much coming.
All right.
Gone are the days where people worked a song.
Yeah.
Right? People like, I put out a song, it's on Spotify, stream it, and then next week they're not talking about it no more.
Right.
They're over it.
Right.
Right? Or it's like on to the next, or I don't even have time to write a song. I just put up freestyles because I need the likes, the shares, and subscribes. I'm trying to build my following.
Yeah.
I don't care about a catalog. I don't care about being on charts. I don't care about ASCAP, BMI. I just need Instagram, Facebook, TikTok followers. So people don't even put up songs. They don't even release songs. It's just about content. Those days where people are like, I'm putting out songs or a series of songs compiled into an album or whatever, people are not really. So I'm like, no. We got some quality here that's not even just the song.
Yeah.
It's a movement. It's not even a song. It's an anthem.
Yeah.
So we gonna rock this. We gonna rock this. You might shine harder the R&B edition.
Ooh.
It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. Hello. Who needs to hear that? It's not gonna stop. So take the notes you need to take. Sit back, get your popcorn. This fight is fixed.
I love that.
I'm just kidding. I'm like an entertainer. Don't pay attention to me.
Oh, I love it. No, I love it. Your energy is amazing. Your energy is great, and I'm really happy for you. You truly have great momentum happening right now with Shine Harder.
Thank you.
Building up to Shine Harder, you dropped 2 singles that we talked about with Havoc and also with Rusty Jux. Is there an album coming in 2023? What's coming?
I think there should be.
Okay.
I put it to you this way. If I put out an album, right? Let's just say, I don't know, in the next couple months.
Yeah.
I already have 3 songs, 3 singles.
Banger.
that we should already, you know what I mean? Like 3 singles with 3 great features.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would really, like, I really don't mind. Like, I think albums are great. And I think, you have to always be conscious of the time frame you're living in.
Right.
And we live in a time where short form content is celebrated.
Yeah.
Everybody is like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? Yeah. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do albums or you shouldn't release albums, you shouldn't release EPs or whatever. You should absolutely release whatever you feel to release as an artist. But the attention span of people is so, it's very short because we live in, it's been progressively, like, remember when it was what was that, Vine and Snapchat? Right. It's been progressively like shorter and shorter content now.
Yeah.
So getting people to really listen, I think, to albums, I think people can and do listen to albums when they are invested in the artist. Right. So I want to secure my tribe fully.
Love that.
And then, we can take it from there.
Yeah, yeah. You've got another really cool track I want to ask you about. It's an earlier track. It's called Kill Bill 3.
Yes.
Right? That's a dope track. Can you talk to us about the track, how you came up with the idea for that song?
Yes. Okay, so that was on the master's program. And we talked about another full-length feature that you don't skip. You don't really skip because it's got some strong songs on there. And Kill Bill's featuring two MCs, Queen Heroin, and Star. And I knew they would be great for that song. I wanted to have a total of three women MCs, because Kill Bill, the movie, there's been a volume 1 and a 2. There's just 2 installments. And I think that's it. I don't know if there's going to be a Kill Bill 3, like Quentin Tarantino. I don't know if he was going to do a 3. So I was like, well, Kill Bill 3 will be my song.
Right.
Right. So I knew they would be great for it. To me, it's one of the really great collaborations, like all female collaborations, all women, collaborations. And it's produced by Big Rush, a producer by the name of Big Rush. He does some great stuff. And he sent me the track one day and was like, go find go find some female MCs and make it, just do what you do. And I was like, Kill Bill is about coming back to life, resurrecting, because they thought she was dead, right? If you know the story of Kill Bill, they thought she was dead. And she's like, I'm not dead.
No.
So the message is like, I'm not dead. Phoenix.
I love
it. Rising from the ashes. I'm not dead.
Yeah. I love that. That was a dope track. And the video's incredible. The video's on YouTube. You can watch it. Kill Bill 3. Yeah. One of the things that I've heard you use that's kind of like a descriptor that you've used is astro-lyricist. Right? So cool. I love that. And then, I've heard you, you talked a little bit even in this interview about different things to do with astrology, about your rising planets and different houses and where things are placed in your own zodiac. I've heard you also talk about numerology. When you go to your band camp, you've got things priced at $4.44 or an EP priced at $7.13, right? Which I believe that's your birthday. Right?
That is.
Yeah. So you love numbers and you love astrology, the astro-lyricist. Can you talk to us a little bit about your love for this knowledge and how you work it into your art?
Okay, so yes, I'm a professional astrologer, for those who don't know. So I read birth charts. And some of my company is called Chart Smart. And the stars, the concept of just Chart Smart, my company is, the stars tell the story.
I didn't know about Chart Smart. I'm super into this.
I haven't been infusing as much Chart Smart content on my page as of late. It's been 99.9% music, but the TikTok page, which is Tiye Phoenix 713, that's pretty much majority of that content is astrology or astrology based.
Yeah, got it.
So with that being said, Chart Smart allowed me to be able to read people's birth charts. I read birth charts. I read all types of charts: birth charts, solar return charts, synastry charts, which is just your chart alongside someone else's chart to see how and why you have come together with that person. Composite charts, like your purpose alongside someone else's purpose, why you and this person are in a relationship or whatever. I read all types of charts. As long as there's birth data, meaning the day, time, and location of your birth, I can read the chart. So how do I use astrology in music? I use it in everything, because astrology is the study of cycles and patterns of time. And so everything that happens, I believe, is organized, is structured. We're in seasons, there's specific events that take place based on what's happening in that season or based on what's happening in the energy. So, you know, like I've never seen your birth chart, but there's clearly something in your birth chart that would either align with mine or what's happening in the transits today allowed us to have this meeting today, because we didn't have it last week and we're not having it a month from now. We're having it today. So astrology definitely underscores the fact that everything that happens is on a divine schedule. It can be mathematically explained, astrologically, as far as positions of planets, degrees of planets in your chart, my chart, or both. So yeah, that's how astrology, you know, plays a role in my life. It's everything I do. I mean, everything we all do, whether you subscribe to astrology or not, you know, everything we all do is on a divine schedule. Yeah. So
whether you're conscious of it or not, but if you are conscious of it, you can kind of use the knowledge.
If you're conscious of your chart, if you're conscious of your placements, you're conscious of the transits, like what's happening right now, like where the planets are right now, you can definitely cooperate and work with the energy, because you're never going to do anything that's not in your, as we say, natal promise. Your natal promise is your birth chart. That's the chart that, you know, was formed when you were born. So there's nothing that's going to come into fruition in your life that is not written for you or not promised for you. Things that are written for you, things that are inside your birth chart in that configuration, they happen fluidly, sometimes effortlessly. And even when they don't happen fluidly or effortlessly and they happen, they're supposed to happen. So when you're working with the knowledge, it's almost like, if you can imagine swimming, when you flow with the current, you have a less likely, there's a chance that you'll drown when you flow with the current, as opposed to fighting the current. So the same is true with energy. The same is true with how the energy unfolds day to day, moment to moment in time. If you flow with it, if this is your season to flourish, if this is your season maybe to sit back and learn or study, you just cooperate with the energy, and knowing astrology just makes it easier for you to do that.
That's beautiful. And then also numbers, the use of numbers and how, you know, how that works with the astrology. And can you talk to us a little bit about the numbers, also numerology?
Yeah, numerologists and astrologers sometimes have this debate about what came first, the planets or numbers. And there's always been values, not numerical values, right, of just things. There's 1 of this, 10 of that, you know. But numbers, again, are symbols of energy. So when you say 444, if you keep seeing 444 everywhere you go, you keep seeing, you know, 111, there's a reason. It's resonating with you. The energy that is symbolized by those numbers is resonating with your personal frequency for some reason or another. So you just have to do the knowledge on why you're seeing those particular numbers so frequently, or what those numbers are telling you. But yes, numbers, symbols, signs. I believe that energy shows up in many different forms. Books, you may read a book, and you open a book to a particular page, and what the information you read on that page, you know, may speak to something you were just thinking about, or answer a question that you have, because we're not really matter. It appears that we're matter. We're just really energy that is seemingly matter or seemingly physical, but we're really all energy. So it shows up in the form of planetary configurations, in the form of number sequences, in the form of a bird that lands on your window. You know, that, I don't know, just have to just pay attention every day in life, because there's no accidents, nothing is happenstance. It's very, you know, organized, this universe. It might seem chaotic, but there's organization even in the chaos. So
yeah, I love that. No, I feel that way. I agree with that. I don't have as much knowledge, but I definitely read in the numbers. I have favorite numbers, numbers that make me feel like things are going well, numbers that make me feel like watch out, right? Signs, like you said, like a bird showing up or like something like that. You're like, oh, that's interesting. It almost feels like life is a bit poetic, right? And that the poetry is happening around you in things that you're experiencing and seeing in the reality that we're perceiving, So that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing all that. Before we wrap up, what things, we talked about your discography, your music career, what you've been doing as of late, things that are gonna come, and all this momentum you have, which is incredible. Where can people find you online? Any other things that you want to share with folks before we wrap up?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Tiye Phoenix, TiyePhoenix. Facebook, the same, Tiye Phoenix. TikTok, however, is Tiye Phoenix 713. Pay very close attention. There's a lot of pages that sometimes try to distort the name, and it might be underscore Tiye Phoenix 7_13 or something like that. They'll try to like trick you. But no, it's just Tiye Phoenix 713. And yeah, you can reach out to me on any of those platforms. And I get back, I pretty much respond to everyone. So
yeah, that's awesome. You're an incredible talent. I think the best is yet to come. I'm really excited to see what you've got coming next. This was truly a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed this interview.
I appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Wishing you the best.
Likewise.
Bye-bye.
Bye.